Andy, where do the Mets stand right now in their process of searching for a manager?
Well, think of it like a blackjack table, Eamon. There's no cards. No, I've got some fresh reporting on this today, post-lockout, when the Mets were supposed to turn their attention to this. And basically, they're at square 0.5. They haven't begun the process yet. It was a very intense focus on player acquisitions until this deadline of the lockout. Today was actually occupied in figuring out how to be an organization during the lockout. There's a lot of things that the Mets have to figure out, what they can say to the press, who they can talk to, what they can do. And that was the focus pretty much of the organization today, I was told. But obviously, Epler has his ideas. Alderson has his ideas. I'm sure Steve Cohen has some ideas, or at least questions. And really, over the next couple days, they're going to get more serious about having these conversations, getting a list together. The earliest we'd probably see an interview would be next week, but at this point, since they have little else to do and can't make any trades or sign any players, next week sounds like a realistic time to actually start these interviews. But truly, when Epler says they haven't discussed names yet or haven't reached out to anybody, that's very, very true at this point.
You know, and really, when you start to look at candidates, and Billy said they're going to cast a wide net, certainly look at a lot of different candidates. I've thrown out candidates before, through Buck Showalter, Todd Zeal. Love you, Todd. Probably not going to be in the mix at the moment, but you never know. But these 5 candidates, I think, all fit different criteria of what we just heard Billy up in the last segment when it comes to managerial experience. When you look, John Gibbons, Bob Guerin have managerial experience. Ron Washington, too, being able to connect with the players, younger guys like Joe Espada and Carlos Beltran, using the likelihoods and probabilities. Espada's been learning down in Houston, certainly. Carlos Beltran lived that as a player. So they all have different, obviously, strengths and weaknesses. And I think that's what you're trying to do in any type of interview. I've gone through 4 managerial interviews. The creation of the criteria is the most important. And then when you start talking to guys, you start to zero in on the best candidates, but you're really, I think, guided by that criteria that the organization has already created. So I think those are some other names that you'll hear. Whether they end up interviewing them or not, we'll find out. But I think that's going to start, like Andy said, sometime next week.